Wow,
David.
Have a look at this. Now, who's the man behind the jump?
So it's Craig, he's the owner and proprietor of Little Creek Cattle.
Hi, Craig, David Mann. What a display.
It's just divine. Like, as a local in the community, you can come back and grab some chops or some steaks or things like that. At the restaurant, we do use a lot of the small goods. But today, we're looking at things we cook on the barbie, so we're just going to grab some beautiful snags, all gluten-free.
So, Craig, you're very big on the gluten-free. That's important these days, isn't it?
It is. It's what the customers demand, so it's what we provide. We actually grow our own beef here in the Yarra Valley, 100% grass-fed and finished, and we're delving into the realm of dry aging these days. Don't forget them, you'll be needing them.
We will. And Craig, to Damien and Rhonda, part of your team too, well done. And the Little Creek Cattle Company. Say that. That's a tongue twister.
Support the locals.
Support the locals. And Craig, I'm going to enjoy these. Grant, this is magnificent. I've got the bratwurst and you chose the others.
Yeah, so we've picked up some Cornish sausages as well and some beautiful beef cracked pepper. We've got the barbecue going. It's a beautiful summer's day. You're out and about in the beautiful caravan. Got the barbecue there, bangers and mash. So just grab some onions. Find just sliced up onions.
Get me to do whatever you want me to.
Yeah,
anything that can't be mucked up, ask me to do.
So we're just going to caramelise these. So it does take a little while to cook them right down.
Here we are on the induction.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. You can judge your heats. We're just going to saute those right down, and when they do start to colour and start to caramelise, we're going to add a beautiful splash of the Balgownie Shiraz.
Oh, Grant, I had a little bit of fun with the flame there, but seriously, you have to be careful around barbecues. Don't do silly things like that. But guess what? I've got you another apparatus for outdoors.
Oh, very nice. We're always staying safe.
Yes.
Oh, very nice, David.
Just in case.
Keep it handy.
Correct. So any young ones, don't do what I do.
No.
Always have one of these. Actually, it's a very good point. When you're out camping, when you're travelling around, have a fire extinguisher handy for your caravan. There will be one on every Supreme caravan, or one if you're out in the camping ground area. Do the right thing by everyone.
We are, David. The sausages are taking beautiful shape. We're cooking those at a decent temperature and it's not too low. It's got a good flame about it. But again, they're not bursting or anything like that. So our onions have caramelised up beautifully there.
A little bit of red.
A little bit of beautiful Shiraz. There's no point drinking with wine that's not good wine.
Yep. So I can smell that.
And you may as well cook with some nice wine as well. So that's just going to get everything off the bottom of the pan. Just going to caramelise those up beautifully.
Okay, I'm with Grant Flack, who is the Director of Operations, Balgownie Estate. We're out on the road and I challenged Grant to cook a beautiful meal for me. You can say something, Grant.
No, that's all. Just watching the onions there. Didn't want to burn anything else. So
concentrating.
While we're going, so I'll give the sausages.
Actually, you do have to concentrate, don't you? Because in the kitchen, you don't get a second chance.
I don't. No,
the guests are waiting. You've got to serve it.
And that's sort of it's a tough part of the industry. That the timelines and the time frames are instant and they're constant, and they just keep coming. And especially as we saw with Craig today, even down at the butcher shop, that the world's changing in terms of tastes and flavours, and having everything gluten-free, it's the way forward.
Yeah. You've got a celiacs, gluten-free, vegetarian.
You've got to be very careful and you've got to know what you're putting into the food. So
to do the right thing, because people can get very sick if it's not done well.
So we've got our onions there. We're just going to leave them to sort of sit on the side. Here's some mashed potato we whipped up a little earlier. Just plain old mashed potato at this stage, so nice and light and fluffy. Give them a bit of a mash, and then we are going to a good few dollops, a good few knobs of butter in there. And being in the Yarra Valley, there's not many things finer. Oh,
now hang on. Let me guess what that is. Can I smell it?
You can, and you can taste it. There is a spoon flying around. You've got your fork in front of you there.
Oh, okay. Have a little taste. Yep. That's what I love doing, because all these condiments in front, I go, oh, I think that's so-and-so. Now let me just see.
Yep.
That's a cheese?
It is a cheese. You're at 1 out of 1 so far.
Okay, good.
So it's Yarra Valley Dairy. The feta there is just folding through. It's just going to add a beautiful amount of richness. The butter adds to mashed potato, which most people will do, but just putting that feta through, it's just folding through and flaking through there beautifully. So,
what's the biggest number of people in your career that you catered for?
I actually cooked a couple of meals up in Queensland with Alistair McLeod.
Oh.
When we were at RACV, we hosted him as a guest chef. And then he actually took me up to Queensland for the opening of the Brisbane Tunnel that went under the river.
Yes, yeah.
So I think that was for about 3,000.
Gee.
And then he had a dinner with Richard Branson for Earth Hour. And we had to, I didn't realise at the time, but we had hard hats on with little torches and things on them.
Yep.
And at 8 o'clock, just getting ready for main course, I think for about 2,000 people, and Richard Branson turned the power off.
Sir Richard Branson.
Yes.
Sir Richard Branson.
Well, we being in the kitchen were swearing a bit because he turned the power off.
And now we're name dropping. One more VIP person that you've cooked for.
Oh, in London, I guess. The owner of Harrods, Dodi Al Fayad, Mohammed Al Fayad. It was just an incredible. I worked at a little restaurant just across the road from Harrods. And it was just beautiful to work there. So we were getting pork thrown in from France. We were getting our steaks flown down from Scotland. It was owned by Oliver Payton, who was a wealthy man at the time. It was just a great place to be.
You ever heard of Man About Town?
I have heard of David Mann, Man About Town, M-A-N-N.
Doesn't get much better than this. You've got Man About Town and Grant Flack together. My personal chef, he's created the dish here.
There's only one more thing to do.
Taste.
Taste time.
This is lovely. Now, I wonder what one I've got. Have I got the Worcestershire one?
Yes, you do. The beef, cracked pepper and Worcestershire. As we said, gluten-free, all natural, produced local. Nice caramelised onions over the top, sprigs of rosemary, beautiful butter and Yarra Valley dairy mashed potato. You don't need a sauce or anything like that to go over the top of these. They speak for themselves, the flavours really come through.
Easy to do on the road. I tell you what, this is quality and there'll be quantity by the time I finish that.